in those times. You know the Diablo curve?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Glassman's world. So, I'm over here. We're checking out Stack Westy, the glass artist here, from I think from Colorado somewhere, maybe Denver, and we're just kind of just watching him blow glass and things like that, and just found out that he's got a mutual that someone that I actually taught back in 1997, and he's someone that makes some big old marbles. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna get started here. Let me also show you this. So this is the getting inspired by this individual here on Facebook. I recently joined a group called I think it's called Beginner Glassblowing, if I'm not mistaken. And I figured I would come into the beginner glassblowing realm to share some of my videos because I have a lot of beginner glassblowing videos there, right? So here, well, here, let me mute him real quick, or just bring it down a little bit. Let me get back to Facebook here. So yeah, this guy. Oh, yeah, let me mute that. I don't get a copyright. So, Pete Jones from Lamp Work for the Beginner on a group here in Facebook, he's created this really cool Mario mushroom, basically. And, he's got the reds, the whites, a little bit of black. I think that's all the colors he's using. Red, white, and black. And so it's a pretty simple process on how he makes it here, right? With the four dots and the one on top, the five dots. And then he adds the eyes, and I just think that the way he makes it, it's really nice, real simple, quick and easy for me to do that. I could definitely replicate that, right? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the type of mushrooms that I know how to do, which is putting them into the glass. And do I even have one? Oh, I've got the world's second smallest one. This is the second smallest one in the world here. The world's smallest one is with all of my glass and stuff. So this is the world's second smallest Amanita mushroom, right? And I made this pretty much the same size as a regular mushroom, right? So this is my regular. Oh, let's get the light on here. Uh-oh, we're not plugged in with the light. Hold on a second. We are not fully set up. Let's get this set up 100%. Sorry, I'm gonna get completely in front of you here. Just gotta plug this in real quick, if I can. That wasn't real quick, was it? Okay, so let's get the light on here. Okay, so this is like the original size mushroom that I make, right? Something like that. And this one I made to be pretty similar to the same size, but usually when I make these, they come out huge, right? Like here's one. This one is a purple one, right? So they usually come out really large, right? And if I can get those kind of dots on there, I'm pretty sure I can get the five dots like the Mario. It's just getting the face on there. That's going to be the thing. But that's a bigger pendant. And to be able to make that mushroom really small, that's the hard thing, because when you get it in the glass and it gets all magnified and building it up. But I've been able to do ones like this here, which is pretty much the same size pendant, but as you can see, That thing is like even skinnier and smaller than a regular push, which this is like a 2 millimeter. So that stem is like a 1 millimeter on there. I don't know if we're gonna go that small tonight, guys, but that is the world's second smallest mushroom. And the world's smallest mushroom is actually a piece of glass that's like this tiny, like the size of of the loop, and the mushrooms inside of there. I'm not even joking. I'll show you guys one day if I know I've shown you before. I have a video on the miniatures. Maybe I'll pop it up here and you guys can check it out. So let's attempt to make this Super Mario. Okay, ready? Let's do this. So, and we're just going to go back over here to check out Stack Westy. He's making these really cool marbles right now. Super big marbles. Like the biggest marble I've got is about that big. He's making ones like that big right now, I think. Probably 2-inch marbles. And this is like a inch and a half. Maybe. Let's see. An inch is 25.4. So yeah, we're at 34. So that's almost 35 millimeter, whatever that is. Should we do the conversion for you to inches? Is that inch? Yeah. Okay, that's inch right there. So it's like 1.37. My number 37. Okay, so almost 1.5 inches. All right. So that's one of my largest ones. I might be able to go 2 inches. I might be able to. All right, so I'm just letting them know that I'm going live right now. So check out Stack Westy, you guys. He's over here on his phone right now, but he does some awesome glass work and working on some marbles. So let's work on this mushroom, Super Mario. So we need some white, not the ghost white. So we'll set the ghost white over here so we don't accidentally pick that one up. We got this white here. I believe it's a Snow White. I don't think it's dwarf white. It could be dwarf white, but I believe it's Snow White. And then we're gonna use probably a crayon red. Probably not that one.
I'm gonna call it a night myself. Dan was getting ready to go live. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for saying hello.
Oh, he's about to check out. Again, he's going to probably send everyone over to my channel here. So might get some new viewers to come in and check me out and watch. Are you going to bed, Boogie? All right, well, we can't use that one. That one's got a little bit of orange on top of the red to create some other kind of color there. Let's see, where do I got some red? Gotta have some crayon red here somewhere, right? Here we go. Red, that might be cherry right there. Yeah? You going to bed? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Alright, bye. I love you. Bye. Bye. I'm live right now. Oh, I hate sour, dude. Silly. Alright. He wanted to make sure you guys could hear him sing, that's for sure. Let's see if I can find, is that really the only red I got? I might have to actually take this chunk off and be able to use this cherry red here. I don't know, maybe I can use this one. Is that the same? Like I might want to prefer to use that one. Yeah, we might want to get the cherry. Because I don't know what this one is. This one might be crayon, which might be it. I prefer cherry than crayon red. But let's get our glasses on at least. All right, and thanks a lot, Westy. Appreciate it. That was cool. Gives me some shout outs. Got to talk about a mutual friend, Freddie. I've known since a long time ago. I actually taught him how to blow glass back in '97. And now he's surpassed me in making marbles, and he's a badass and amazing glass artist. I was a newbie though. I was a beginner when I taught him, so it wasn't too hard to surpass me at that point. Okay, so we got to figure this out now. I may take this off so I can use this. Get rid of that orange there. And that way we can use this cherry red here. Alright, now just set that aside so we have that extra color there. I got so much stuff in the way over here. I really don't need all of this. I really just need my reamer, the white. Oh, we might need some of that clear. And we do need like a onyx, some sort of a black. Is that what these are? Oh my gosh, these are all mixed up here. I'm like, are these turbo or are these actually black? Or is this or is this the black? That's the black actually. Okay. I already have the black pulled. Cool. We'll keep these here because these might also be onyx or something. They don't have any more labels, so I have no idea what they are. Alright, and let's bring up my video here. That way we can at least see what's going on. In case we have some new viewers that have come in and are watching. In case anyone's on the chat already. So this is inspired by Pete Jones. Pete Jones, we don't know each other, but thank you for the inspirational video there, that tutorial. So what I'm thinking is this mushroom, the cap, it's a big round cap, but the stem is also pretty big and thick on the bottom compared to what I normally make my stems. I usually pull a stringer and then push it in and then pull it out. That way it doesn't mushroom out. It's kind of like how I make my stems. I push them in, the implosion flowers, or I draw implode the stem in and then draw the petals on top and then encase that. That's kind of what we're doing here with the mushroom. And so that way you guys will be able to see how I make these mushrooms, but we're going to do it Super Mario style. So we're going to need 2 rods of clear all ready to go. We got the black right here. We got the white. We got some other colors just mixed in here. Just move those out of the way. We'll make sure we just got the reamer there. And let's get started. So I do believe that we're going to need to make the body or his face on the white part, the stem, first, and then we're gonna push it in, and then I gotta do this upside down, right? Okay, this is gonna be interesting. So I've done these alien heads on top of my UFO pipes that I used to make. I started making those back in what, 99 or 2000. I think it was about 99. And I started making these like real thin, like kind of like, they were like flasks. I call them flask pipes. They were like real thin pocket pipes, um, that were just a round disc that was hollow on the inside, and then it had a little bowl and a carb in the front. And the person that I was with at the time was like, "Hey, that looks like a UFO." And I was like, "Well, let me turn it into one." And so I added lights around the edge, around the rim of it. I put 3 dots on the bottom to create a tripod so it could land and sit and rest on a tripod. And then I put an alien inside of a marble, just the head of the alien, so just a green piece of glass with 2 eyes on it. And um, and then I would push it into the clear glass, and it would be, pretty difficult to not get it to mushroom out. So that's what we're going to do here, is we're going to attempt to do that same technique that we do with those aliens. But we have to try to just draw these lines here. And then I got to remember, this is going on backwards. And then the mushroom, the eyes are a little bit elongated. And I'm thinking I don't really need to make them elongated, but I kind of do if I'm going to add the little extra. Oh, how can I even do that? Do I have another piece of white somewhere? Hopefully. I do. Nice. And I was like, I need a little tiny piece. I don't know if I should even attempt to do this. There's like a little tiny dot of white to kind of create that. Like reflection in the eye. Like you got that twinkle in the eye. That's way too big. Okay, those are just right. I don't know if you'll even be able to see those at all, but we've got the little black eyes with the little white sparkle or twinkle in the eye there. We'll melt that down and make that nice and smooth before we force this into a rod of clear glass. So that's what it looks like so far. And there should be 2 little tiny white dots on the tops there. And we're going to push this into clear glass. Then we're going to build the mushroom on top, or the mushroom cap. And then we're going to encase all of that in clear glass as well. And this is going to be huge compared to how I normally make it. So we're going to see. Can I actually pull this off? Can I really make this happen? Alright, well, Let's do it. No time better than now. It's gonna be cool if I can pull it off on the first attempt. I just got to get this one really molten so I can sink in that white and really make sure that it can get in there. And let me keep it warm on the back end here so that way we don't have any issues with it cracking or nothing like that. I don't want any issues. So we really do need to get this super molten. You know, we got to get it in pretty deep. And then we don't want this to like mushroom out on the top at all. So I have to like push it in and then pull it out, make sure that it doesn't like hit that point where it starts to flatten out or mushroom out. So that's the trick with making these. And it's been a while since I've made my little UFOs and my aliens. But I don't think I've lost the touch. But we'll find out here in just a second. Alright, we're just keeping that warm. We're going to let that solidify. And we're almost at that point here. Let me make sure I got this ready. I'm going to set that up right there. I want it there or there? I don't know where. Alright, we get this super hot all the way up there real deep. And here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Go in, we'll push it in. Just make sure that that is completely engulfed there. Beautiful. Okay. So from what I can see, it looks like I got it in there. And the eyes still look pretty good. I don't know if I got it in deep enough. But it looks like it. I'm going to melt this down and then it should kind of sink in a little bit more. But I do believe that I got that pretty good there. So this is what it looks like right now. So I got that in there. And I don't know if you can see the eyes or not. It should be right there. It's just so bright that I don't think you're able to... Oh, there they are. Alright, so you can see the eyes are in there. And then I just need to sink it in. And now we'll start building the mushroom cap right on top. I'm just going to try to force the clear glass up and around this just a little bit more. That way we can really encapsulate that top. Make sure those eyes are as far down as we can get them underneath the mushroom cap without them like getting covered up here. And then I'm thinking I'm just going to taper the clear glass and bring it around to the top and then just do like what I normally do to create this, the mushroom usually. Let's pull it down a little bit more right there. Try to keep it nice and even all the way around. So I'm thinking that the eyes got kind of elongated a little bit. I may be able to get away with kind of more oval, closer to rounded eyes. And then when I push it in, it's going to elongate them how I want them. All right, so now we'll get this ready for the mushroom. Alright. Just bringing it up a little bit more in a point. I'm thinking that's going to help me some. You know, being that we're using the white, we're going to do this here. We're going to get the black. We're going to put this underneath. So if you see underneath the mushroom cap, it'll be black. Just bring that down to a little bit of a point. And then I'll add a little bit of dot of this black, which I think is on it, but not 100%. And I forget what the other color is that I use. I don't think it's called Midnight. Or is it Twilight? Alright, so then we get that black there. We'll flatten that. And that will become slightly wider. And the mushroom itself, the mushroom stem. And then we'll do the red dot. Yeah, I'm thinking I have to go a lot smaller on that white to really make this happen. I'm going to pull this off, but this might have to become huge to make it happen. Alright, we'll see. I'm going to turn this oxygen down some. And the trick is going to be to get this mushroom cap to stay nice and rounded when I encapsulate it. Alright. So let me add all the cherry red there. Here, and I'll sink this down so that way we don't have to worry about that next time. Well, he's looking cute no matter what. Alright, we're just going to kind of force this down some, round it out. I'm going to force it to come down around the edge of that black. So that way that black is underneath the mushroom here. Let me just make that all nice and round. Oh yeah, that's looking cool. And you can see the eyes in there. Okay. Now we gotta add the white dots. We gotta make these pretty big. And then one on top. And that is what the pattern is for the Super Mario mushroom, which is pretty awesome. We got the eyes in there, and now we got the dots. And we'll just sink these in. Oh man, this is gonna look cool. I just gotta be able to encapsulate this top now, and this is gonna be huge. But guess what? I'll be wearing this first one. I'm gonna wear it tomorrow. I'll be sporting it right out of the kiln. Bump, 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 bump. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, now here comes the trick. Getting this in the clear glass. Somehow, right? Okay. Well, so far so good. Yeah. Where are the eyes? There they are. Okay, the eyes are right there. They're just not showing up for you guys, but they're there. Okay. That looks awesome. I'm just gonna start making them with those patterns now. Like, dang. I've been making them in just a natural, random pattern. I didn't even think about this pattern. Like, come on now. It's iconic. Alright, so then we just got to keep this warm. Right? Keep that warm. You got to get another piece of clear glass extremely molten. And now we're going to have to force this into that. And make sure I got everything ready to go here. This is going to be one of the biggest mushroom caps to encapsulate I've ever had to do. Not going to be the easiest thing here. I'm definitely going smaller on the next one. A lot smaller. What was I thinking? Oh my gosh. I was not thinking. I could have saved so much white. That's alright. That's all white. Okay, here we go. I hope. Maybe a little more. Like maybe I'll just get more of this molten here. Get it super, super hot. Alright, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, let's do this. Boom. Push it on. Try to get it all the way in. And then force it on as best as you can. Using the pad, the paddle. And just get it to cover it up. Boom. Just like that. Dope. Bump, 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 bump. Got it done. Got it made. This is a huge one, man. This is at least like 50 to 80 bucks right here. This thing is dope. I'm sure some other glass blowers be asking 100 to 150 on this. Ow, something was hot. What was hot? Maybe from the paddle. Alright, and then we'll take off the excess on the bottom here. Don't want to pull it too much. So instead of just like grabbing it and yanking, we're just going to go in there and squeeze it tight. And then we can pull that part there. And it won't stretch out the whole bottom of that mushroom stem inside. It's a little nice technique or trick you can do. You can keep on doing that too. You can keep pinching it down. Get a little bit more like that. And then just pull it. That way it's just like kind of, thinned out a little bit for you beforehand. Alright, so now this is what it's looking like. You can see the little eyes right there. And it will turn back to red. Pulled off a lot of that clear underneath it. And now we just got to melt it all down. And then we'll try again. We'll make it smaller. And we'll see if I can get it to just a normal, usual size pendant. Not anything too crazy here. Not trying to get too crazy, but then again we are. Trying to show off here on how I can encapsulate this. Because I thought I could pull it off. I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't even think about drawing that and putting the little eyes on there. Like, that's exactly like how I've been doing my mushrooms. Or, sorry, my aliens. Like, kind of, pretty close to it. But I could probably do that. Why not? And lo and behold, I believe I pulled it off on the first try. It's just bigger than I was expecting. It's a lot larger than I was thinking. And the kiln is on, so we're ready with that. Do you believe that? Kiln is on. And then we just melt it down. We just got to get rid of that whole ridge in between right there and get it all to become one. All right, well, once again, Pete Jones, thank you for the inspiration. As soon as I saw your video today on the, was it lamp work for beginner? I was just like, wow, I haven't even thought about the pattern and how to make this Super Mario style mushroom with putting the eyes on there and the 5 dots. I'm like, why not just do what I've been doing with my Amanitas and then do this? The hardest thing is encapsulating it all like I do without capturing any air bubbles. So if you're watching Pete Jones, just make sure you get it super, super hot before you push in the cap. Make sure that the cap isn't molten so you don't mash that down and flatten it out. And you just got to make sure that you push that in and over as much of that as you can And then I use my pad. My paddle kind of helps to rise it up, and that then allows me to kind of push that clear glass down to the bottom of the mushroom cap, and just getting it to where it needs to be down there to encapsulate over it entirely. I'm using my paddle to just help guide some of this glass here and round it out some. Pretty much sunk in. I can see that in some of those spots there, I could have gotten the clear glass to stretch down a little bit further. Some of the mushroom cap is edging out to the outside. The only way to fix that is getting this clear glass here and then just wrapping it around and trying to just encapsulate it and move it a little bit further from the edge. And that's about all you can really do. But then at this point, you know, you risk adding any air bubbles. But this will then allow you to make sure that the whole rim is completely underneath clear glass and none of it's like trying to sneak out to the edge there. Let me just bring that around a little bit better. And then if there is any air bubbles, you know, you can always wipe them off. You can get rid of them. I think my son might come back in a second. I want to show him. Yeah, getting that clear glass to encapsulate over that big old cap right there, that big old mushroom cap, that was a beast. So it's going to have a little deformities, but not bad at all. I mean, this is looking pretty clean. And for a first attempt, I am happy. This is mine. This is mine, guys. I don't know, maybe I'll sell it. Maybe I'll auction it off. Alright, definitely making one smaller, and that will take off some of the time of how long it took to make this. But that is an encased, encapsulated Super Mario mushroom right there. And that is sweet. I'm just going to round it out. We're just going to do a little flame polishing here and clean it up really nicely. man, it's game on now. Now I'm wondering if I should flatten the back and put a little cobalt on it. Or just leave it clear like this. And you can just see all the way around it. There's always so many different ways. Like I could do this, I could do that, adding bottoms to it, turning it into a window glass and putting color on the outer edge of it. Alright. That came out nice, so it's super bright, I guess, so you can't really see what's going on. But I promise you the dots are in there. And so is the face. Somewhere. There it is. Once it cools down a little bit better, you'll be able to see. Those eyes are glowing right now. I can see them glowing, but there's the first looks, guys. That came out cool. See that dot though, it kind of got pulled down a little bit from just the deformity. See, that one came out nice and round. That one came out nice and round. I don't know if it was just from, I don't know. Those things happen. Alright, so now we'll take this off. Put this on the punchy here. See if I can find the punchy. Like I was saying, do I want to add blue to the back of it? I kind of want to now. I kind of want to and I kind of don't. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Let's keep it. Let's just keep it as such. We'll play with more. We'll do blue backs on some more. Let's just play with the general idea of this. Let's get this punchy nice and cleaned up so we don't add any color glass or no schmeckle to the bottom of it there. Yeah, that came out sweet. I'm stoked. I don't know about you guys, but I am stoked. I don't even know if it's got the white dots on the eyes. I don't know if that came out or not. That a little bit of extra detail to give it the sparkle in the eyes kind of effect. Alright guys, we're about to finish it up here. I guess that didn't take too long for the first one. Only an hour. Plus all the talking and everything and trying to figure out what was what. Now we can probably go in and just bust one out in 20 minutes. Let's see if we can make that happen. And we're just going to do a simple loop on top. just pulling it. Got to make sure we keep those eyes nice and straight. I just got to pay attention to how I'm laying that down here. Right, just trying to get it nice and straight here. So when it hangs, it's going to hang like that and not hang sideways or anything. Alright, I think I got it straight there on both the back and the front, so that way it really does hang perfectly looking directly forward. And that's a really nice thick loop on top there. That is sick. I pulled it off. I made it happen. Oh, who's here? What's up, True Indica? So check it out. This is a first attempt. This is a world's first for me. I pulled off the Super Mario inside the glass. So we were just inspired by Pete Jones, who was making one of these outside the glass on this Facebook post here. And he did one outside the glass, as you can see, and I put mine inside. How cool is that? I did it. I pulled it off. So I don't know if I'm going to sell this one. I'm going to have to keep this one. Like, I don't know if any of these are going into the buy one, get one free pile. We'll be asking $100. Yeah, no, this actually, I could probably, I mean, the size of it's probably thicker than any of my fingers. It's probably even thicker than my thumb. I would say it's almost 1 inch wide. You can always measure it with the calipers here in a sec. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. That came out real nice. Alright, I gotta drop it in the kiln so it does not crack or break or we don't lose it in any weird, crazy way. So let's get this in the kiln. Oh man. It came out big though. A lot bigger than I was hoping for. But that happened. And now I got a really nice large Super Mario mushroom I can wear. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it. I don't know. That thing's dope. Alright, let's attempt to make another one here. And we're gonna do this a lot smaller. We'll pull the white here. We'll get the white ready and we'll pull the white. We'll get the white a lot thinner, but that means I have to draw the eyes a lot smaller. So everything now is going into even smaller mode here. More of a smaller scale. The eyes are gonna be ridiculous. Like how small? I just gotta make sure whatever size I go, I gotta be able to draw eyes on it too. And I don't know about adding those little dots on this one this time. Maybe I can add that little bit of white to it still. Well, the white's added to it. I don't know if it's what I should have done. Alright, that's a lot smaller now. right, now we're just going to push this in. Oh, so yesterday I did not go to that market that I was hoping for, the honey. Wait, what's it called? The beehive. So no one contacted me back on there, and I just ended up staying home. Blew glass some more. I did a reveal today. We actually have our Sunday market. So we had a market earlier today, and I did a reveal on some of the glass that I made last night earlier there at the market. And it was good. We had rain this morning, so at like 5 a.m. I was counseling online on Facebook events, and then by like 6:30 it was starting to clear up. I'm like, you know what? It's probably going to clear up, and I ended up uncounseling I undid the counseling of the events and said, well, we're going to still try it and be out there, so come on out. And then it rained on us a little bit. One of our vendors didn't show up. She said that she saw in the news that they were expecting rain on and off, in the morning until 2. And she was right. We had some storms on and off, but even longer than 2 p.m. But when we were downtown, like, it rained for like maybe 5 minutes, and that was about it. So, it wasn't even like bad at all. Okay, I got the eyes in there. Just gonna melt that down, and then we're gonna try to taper this thing back up. All right. I'm gonna just grab it by the center, and actually, no, I'm not going to. It's pulling really nicely on its own. Like maybe a little bit of a better taper there. All right, then we'll add the black again for the bottom. Like I said, the second one should only take about 20 minutes compared to that first one, which took an hour. I didn't check the timer before starting this one. I probably should have. All right, and we just add the black. This is just for extra detail. Um, Pete Jones didn't add any sort of underneath to the mushroom cap. This is just something that I do. I've been working on putting gills underneath my mushrooms, so this is just a little extra detail, extra work, just for fun. All right, so now we got that little bit of black. We got the eyes inside there. It's a lot smaller than before. And then we'll get the crayon red here. And the crayon, or I mean, sorry, the cherry red. You know, these colors here, the cadmium colors, they tend to want to bubble and boil on you and stuff. So you want to, you know, not go with too much oxygen on these ones here. We'll get this molten enough to basically wrap around the black, which I think is onyx. Could be what is it? Twilight? Midnight? I don't remember what the other color is. Alright, we push that on and then push it over the edge of the black just enough. So then what we're going to do is we're going to use the paddle and force it over even more. So just flame cut that, and then we'll kind of force that down the tip and get that whole thing hot, and then we just kind of just brush it, and it's going to just force that red to just kind of go over the edge of that black a little bit better there. I'm just going to push it down some more, and then we'll just do that again. Just hold it there, and then really just kind of force it into place there. Nice. And now I'm just kind of rounding it back up, making sure that we're pushing all that red over the black that's underneath. And we're also rounding the cap here, getting it back into shape. And this mushroom cap is still big compared to how I want it to do, but it'll do. We still got to add the white dots. And then when you add these dots, you know, you want to add them pretty much evenly with the same amount. If you see that one needs a little bit more, you can always add color to it or take away from before you actually sink them in. So then it looks like this. You got the eyes in there on the stem, and then you got those little dots right there. Which that dot looks a little bit crooked, huh? I'm gonna try to force it over some with the paddle here. Just get it over. Get it to move over here. And maybe what we'll do is we'll just go in and we'll flatten all these dots. That really did a big difference there. Oh yeah, I think flattening them is also a trick that needs to be done. Yeah, that really does like set them into place on where they need to be. And now I can really sink them in at this point. It's a lot smaller. I should be able to encapsulate this one a lot easier than that first one. And then, like I said, what, 20 minutes? I don't really know. The first one took till, like, when I first looked, it was about 54 minutes in. So we probably weren't done till like 64 minutes. And we're only at 77. So maybe this has only been 10 minutes so far. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm just guessing. All right, and then the trick is just getting it to be that right shape that it needs to be. And I gotta make sure there's no kind of like ridges or anything that when I put that glass around this that it all flows. I'm just trying to get that clear glass to melt in and kind of meet up with that color glass. We'll get it to flow nice and smooth with one another. Get rid of that rim here. And then the trick is getting that clear glass to wrap around it, not trapping any air bubbles and trying to just get it over the whole thing in one try. So that clear glass has to basically stretch all the way over that whole entire thing. That looks sweet though, huh? All right, so now we just get this piece of glass here. It's been 80 minutes debating, do I want to do one more? You know, I wasn't feeling too well actually. I had a headache. Um, I felt really like kind of lightheaded and almost faint. But then I ate and I drank some water, and my wife gave me some electrolyte drink, which I believe helped out. And I may not have drank enough water all day. I was just on my feet, and I don't know if I drank any water, like now I think about it. But I ate a lot of food and I had a few sodas, which isn't usual for me. Maybe that's what it was. I normally drink a lot of water. Man, these look so cool. I am stoked on these. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Neener, 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 neener. Neener, neener. Neener, neener, neener. Alright, we're going to try to encapsulate this here. One try, get it all done. Make sure we got this paddle here on top so we can really force it on. Alright. This is the part that's like, just can't mess it up. Can't mess it up. Gotta do it on the one try. Push it perfectly centered. It only has to be perfectly centered, that's all. One try. Boom. Push it on. Get it all the way around on all sides. Use your paddle to really, really force it. And get it all the way around there. Really to wrap it around. Make sure that it's fully encapsulated. No way for that to get to the edge there at all. So then it should look like that, where all of that mushroom is fully encapsulated. You can see clear glass completely underneath it there. That's what we need. That's what we're going for. You can even try to push it down a little bit more too. Let's get this molten again here. And you know, if I had a marving pad, boom, just right on top of my torch, that would probably be the best for these. It'd make them so much easier and cleaner. But I'm old school, so I'm like, what tools? You don't need tools. You got all the tools that you need right here. It's got my pad on the table. That's my marving pad. All right, now we cut it off. Try not to stretch it. So we leave quite a bit of clear glass, and then we can pinch it off. Yeah, this is better. Oh my gosh. I don't know. These are going to have to be at least 30 bucks. And then who else is encapsulating these? Who? I gotta see some other glass artists who are making these. I don't know. Now that I got a video out, it's as simple as just replicating the same steps and techniques that I do, and then trying to figure it out at your own studio. But bam, this is the first attempt, first try. Well, this is the second one, but tonight, this is the first attempt at ever trying to make these really cool Super Mario style. Because these aren't Super Mario. I'm pretty sure they probably use a different color red, different color white. They're not making them in glass. Yeah, I'll keep it like that. I was going to pull more off. I'm like, why? There's no point. Just keep it floating. Ooh, it's starting to get hot in here again. Man, this kiln warms this place up. Alright, so now we got it all melted down on the bottom. We're just going to get rid of that rim in between the two pieces of glass, sink them together, make them become one, and hopefully all that clear glass just sinks in and does not allow for that mushroom cap to come anywhere near the rim or the edge. Just keep it all in there and underneath it all. No air bubbles, no reason to add a clear rim over this one. I think I pulled it off here. I really want to make sure though that you got all that glass to fall down and fall over. I don't want it to come out the edge at all. There's like one spot that I'm like, oh, right there. If there's going to be a spot, it's going to be that one. I think it's underneath all that glass. If it's under it, there's no way it can reach out to the edge. I think I got it. I think I got it this time. Like for real, for real. It's not going to have any of that deformity. It should be just nice and clean and smooth all the way around the mushroom cap this time. Alright. I'm just going to melt it down. Trying to just make sure it's completely under it. I think it is. I hope it is. I'm about to find out right now. Yeah, you know, I think after this one, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm pretty tired here. Had a long day. I was up since I don't know how long this morning. Got set up and was vending for at least 6 hours, 7 hours straight. It was a good day. My friends from Santo Domingo Pueblo came out, brought some awesome Pueblo tamales, and just fed me good all day, man. It was like, dang. I just had tamales all day, all day, all day. All right, well, that clear glass, I think, went all the way around. I don't know, like I'm trying to see if there's still a little tiny piece that's trying to peek out to the edge, but I think the front of this mushroom looks good. I don't really got to worry, I don't think. I think it looks good. Just got to bring it to the right shaping here. What time are we at now? We're at 90. Okay, so 20 to 30 minutes on this one so far. Not, what did I say? Maybe 20. So not bad. Because I don't remember exactly when we started. If we were like 70 minutes in, 75 minutes in. I don't know. When we all go back on the rewatch, we'll be able to see. All right, we're almost there, guys. Let me bring the kiln back up because I think I've got it. Yeah. Yeah, and then I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, I can see how maybe I can even round this out, make a even smaller mushroom cap. If I don't put that black underneath it, then I won't have any issues. That's what it is adding that little bit of a detail is creating an extra layer that I have to build this upon. And I don't know if it's even necessary at all. You know, who else is even attempting to try to do that with these? And who's even attempting to try to put them in the glass like this? It's crazy. But it's nice and flowing. I'm loving this. All right, let's get it off here. I was thinking, should I cobalt it? But I already said, let's keep these first ones just clear, and then we can see, like, we can take a look at it and see what kind of mistakes we made or anything like that. Making them flat, though, that does help me with pulling that loop nice and straight. Because then I have a little bit extra of an angle to work with, and I can really see whether or not I got it to the front from the flat part of the back. It does make a big difference. So then these, I just got to pull them, bring the loop towards the front, which on here is the eyes, and then I got to bring it backwards and make sure that it falls directly behind the eyes. And we can check that out and see how well does that actually line up. Pretty good there. So you can see, like, when you turn it, that's not straight, that's straight, that's not straight, that's straight. Looking right on. So now you just got to make sure to keep all this nice and straight as you melt it down into itself. That's why you got to always counterbalance it. Go on the left side, go on the right side. Don't allow it all to just flow and fall on one side and all gather up and become thick and lopsided all on one side. And sometimes you got to flip it over. Looking good. Looking good. And then we just clean up the loop a little bit better, make it thicker towards that back side. And then use your reamer to guide it, making sure it doesn't close up on you. And I think that's nice. And I could work on the loop a little bit better. Maybe make it flow just a little bit nicer here. All right. I'd still work on it a little bit better. I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to the loop. Like, well, it's pushing out a little bit too far forward. Let me move it back 0.5 millimeter. And then I just see that the back side slightly thicker than the front, but that doesn't really matter. It's like, you're only going to really see it from one angle when you're wearing it. Like I said, I'm just a perfectionist when it comes to my loops, trying to make them nice and thick and strong and durable. Got to remember that this part of the pendant, if it breaks, then it's no longer a pendant, you know, unless you get someone to wire wrap it, or you can find someone to repair it for you. All right, I think we're done here. That will turn red, just so you know. It looks kind of like a weird, I don't know, gray or brown or whatever. I don't know what you're really seeing. But it will turn to super bright cherry red that we started out with. And that's going to look like a beautiful Super Mario type mushroom there. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. This was just a quick, let me see if I can pull this off or not. Attempting to make a Super Mario mushroom encased in glass. Inspired by Pete Jones. Thanks again, Pete Jones. Appreciate you for the posting up on Facebook and inspiring me to make this. All right, that's how you do it. I'll post this up right underneath and everyone can check it out. All right, you guys have a good evening. Love and blessings. I'll get this one to make sure everything's safe. Didn't give it any weird indentations there. All right. We'll do last looks. All right, I'm out. You guys have a good evening. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe.